The Cleveland Browns finally did it. They finally gave Shedeur team reps. And you can already guess how that went. Let's get into the review. Make sure y'all run a like, sub, share the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel. It's the NFL Litcast.
La, la, la. Wait till I get my D right. La, 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 la. Then they gon' crown me broken man.
So it finally happened. The Cleveland Browns actually treated Shedeur Sanders like a quarterback that they drafted. There's been a lot of rumblings and upheaval on social media, YouTube, by Shedeur Sanders fans and NFL fans alike that were asking questions like I asked on my last video. And if you haven't had a chance to watch it, make sure you go check it out. Why wasn't Shedeur getting a fair opportunity? Why wasn't he given a fair shot? Why was he passing the football to Home Depot employees? Why was he not getting first or second team reps? Why is he still not getting any first team reps since rookie minicamp, OTAs, and training camp? So I think the pressure from you guys, the fans, give yourself a round of applause, and the supporters, and just the NFL connoisseurs, the pressure from that caused the Cleveland Browns to really change course on day 3 of training camp. Shedeur Sanders finally got second team reps. And I don't want to talk about the results of those second team reps yet. I just want to focus on the frame of mind that the Cleveland Browns had to get pushed to in order to give Shedeur a shot. It was said that Andrew Berry, the GM, and Kevin Stefanski, the head coach, instead of watching the first team offense, they took a long, hard look at Shedeur and how he was running the offense during those second team reps. So they were on his side of the field. And they made sure they did it for all of the media to see. The day before that, the day that it was, all those questions were coming at Shedeur post-practice, where the reporters were asking, why does he think he's not getting reps? Why does he think he's not getting a fair opportunity? The Cleveland Browns, their official Twitter tag, tweeted out that Shedeur got this number of reps and Dylan Gabriel got this number of reps and blase. It kind of feels like, even though the results that we're going to discuss later on in the video are very positive, it kind of feels like the Cleveland Browns are folding to pressure from the media, from the fans, from NFL connoisseurs. And a lot of this that they're doing is face value. It's tongue-in-cheek. It's posturing. I don't know how real of an opportunity they're really giving Shedeur. Because why did it take the media asking questions once Shedeur finally got to stand in front of a mic after a training camp practice, and people to constantly, the Colorado faithful, the Jackson State faithful, the Browns faithful, to have to be in the comment section of every post, counting Shedeur's reps, asking questions, demanding answers, demanding, hey, what's going on here? Why did it take all that? Why did it take all that for this man to finally get an opportunity? Just very strange, if you ask me. It's starting to feel like this is something greater afoot, and I keep going back to this theme on this channel. I can play it safe and paint things as roses and candy canes and lollipops, but that's just not the type of guy I am. I gotta be critical, and I gotta ask the real questions that nobody else would ask. And it feels like they are doing this right now as a PR move. I don't know how invested the Cleveland Browns really are in Shedeur Sanders as a quarterback. I don't know if they're really in the Shedeur Sanders business when it comes to, do they look at this guy that can not only be a quarterback, but a franchise quarterback? That's yet to be seen. Because what I see is a lot of posturing. GM Andrew Berry the other day, when he was critiquing Shedeur for the alleged speeding incident and throwing him under the bus in front of the media, even though you have somebody on your team right now with domestic violence allegations who came to practice, and you still haven't addressed that. You still haven't really spoke on that, but you treat Shedeur like a redhead stepchild. It's just really hard to understand. Nevertheless, yesterday Shedeur finally got those reps. He got those reps with the second team. He got those 11-on-11 reps. And I've been saying the entire time that Shedeur is not getting reps, not because he's not capable of producing with the reps, and they just don't want to waste the reps because they got all of these quality quarterbacks on the depth chart. They're not giving Shedeur first team reps because they want to hide what he is. They don't want to give him the opportunity to succeed because they know he'll succeed. I've been saying that since my first channel, The Lit House. And shout out to everybody that came over from The Lit House and subscribed to this channel. I appreciate each and every one of you all. Make sure you go check out my latest release on The Lit House, and make sure you double down over here and check out these videos as well. But they're not allowing Shedeur or affording Shedeur an opportunity because they don't want the world to know or see what most of us already know, which is Shedeur Sanders is the best quarterback on the Browns roster by far. And lo and behold, the one chance, the one opportunity that they give Shedeur, the one opportunity that they give him to actually get those reps, he blows it out the water. 8 of 12 yesterday. 3 touchdowns. Over 60% completion rate. The best day out of all the quarterbacks by far. On a day where it's said that Andrew Berry, the GM, and Kevin Stefanski were evaluating Shedeur. And he blows the competition out of the water. This is what they are trying to hide. This is what they don't want to show us. So they do their best to slow walk him and keep him away from those reps because they don't want to expose what we all know is that they took the wrong guy first in Dillon Gabriel. And being petty, they didn't want to draft Shedeur early. A lot of people are applauding the Cleveland Browns for finally giving Shedeur reps. I'm looking at the front office as a joke that needs to be fired. And the reason why I say that is this. If you saw this kid on his 3rd day of training camp do that, produce on that level against the first and second team defense, if you saw him do that, so instead of having this QB circus that's going on in Cleveland right now, instead of having this QB circus that's going on at training camp, he could be maximizing these reps as a rookie and getting comfortable with the system, so when it's time for the preseason and the NFL regular season to start, he can hit the ground running. Instead of him having limited reps, and he's showing you what he is in limited reps, and now he's not getting the reps that he needs. So now, when he starts the season, if he is the starter somehow, he's already behind the 8 ball. No. It's something more nefarious going on with this Shedeur Sanders situation. I think this is a situation where the Cleveland Browns don't want to admit the gaffe that we already know about. The Cleveland Browns don't want to admit what is obvious. They don't want to jump Shedeur over Dillon Gabriel because it'll make that 3rd round draft pick look like a wasted pick. I've already been seeing Cleveland prognosticators and Cleveland analysts and sportscasters I've seen them all weekend talking about the offense looks rough in training camp. And maybe the 4-quarterback system wasn't the way to go. Well, no, Sherlock. Well, obviously, of course it wasn't the way to go. Because you have a decrepit Joe Flacco that looks decrepit. Joe Flacco has looked absolutely mediocre this training camp. This isn't even a Joe Flacco. Forget the Joe Flacco with the Baltimore Ravens. This isn't even the Joe Flacco of the Indianapolis Colts 2 years ago. This isn't even the Joe Flacco of the Colts from a year ago. This is a 40-year-old Joe Flacco that looks like he's aged himself out of this league. But hold on, wait, there's more. Kenny Pickett, the guy that you went and got from the Philadelphia Eagles that I told y'all that we gave y'all for free ski. He's looked inept. He's looked terrible. He's throwing interceptions all over training camp. And by the way, a Kenny Pickett update. Kenny Pickett, he just aggravated his hamstring. So now he's got a hamstring injury. You know what I'm saying? And you know how devastated we are about that.
Oh,
with that being said, so Kenny Pickett's gonna be out of the rotation, so that should work itself out. Dylan Gabriel has shown some flashes, but also he's shown some times where he can't hit the side of a barn with a cannonball from 10 yards out. So now you're in this circus where it's like you have to justify the reasons for not giving Shedeur the reps that he deserves. The footage you've been watching all throughout this video, this is Shedeur carving up the number 2 and the number 1 defense. If you look, the players know who the guy is. The day before Shedeur got those reps, the best player on the team by far, Myles Garrett, stayed behind in practice to help Shedeur when it came to the snap count and how defensive ends pick up on the snap count and helping with the center exchange. You have former Browns players tweeting out that Shedeur is the guy. If this front office is not careful, if this coaching staff is not careful, if the Browns get off to a rocky start early in this season and they're playing these games with Dylan Gabriel, Kenny Pickett, and Joe Flacco, and Shedeur gets cut, or he's not on the team, or he's holding the clipboard in street clothes, you're gonna mess around and get fired. You're gonna mess around and lose his team. You're gonna lose the locker room because you're not willing to give a kid a shot because of your own biases. But how do y'all feel, man? Make sure y'all run the likes up, share the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate all the support you've been giving us. How do you feel about Shedeur's performance yesterday at training camp? Make sure y'all leave it down there in the comment section below. And do you feel like it's something shady going on in Cleveland? Is he actually getting an opportunity? Make sure y'all share the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel. You're in the NFL Litcast.